in that second position. He was 18 seconds behind at the end of the previous lap. So Villeneuve has now won at the Nürburgring for the European Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix, there is Damon. Damon finishes second, drives up alongside his team, and Jacques Villeneuve has to win in Japan with Damon Hill scoring.
Well, Frank Williams sees his team, his two drivers finish first and second, and the championship will be decided in the 16th and final race of the season in Japan. Jacques Villeneuve is the winner in Portugal, and he'll take a 1-point lead to Suzuka as Jerry Donaldson joins us again from Estoril. Michael Schumacher finishing third. I pointed two things in this race: that pass on Schumacher when he was being held up by Villeneuve, the pass, and then in the pits. Two wonderful moments in maybe one of the best races we've seen this year.
Well, yes, and it was Zach who provided all the excitement, Vic, although there were some other good scraps. I know he'll be extremely pleased with this. His bottom line coming into this race was that he had to get 4 more points than Damon. But to win is what he lives for, and he's done that. So he'll be a very happy driver. I'm sure this will be a most enjoyable win of the 4 he's had this season.
The Murray Walker, Jonathan Popper gave credit to the open wheel racing that he did at IndyCar in that pass of Schumacher, saying he had the outside, he had the dirty line. It was quite exceptional. In fact, Palmer says it may be one of the best passes he's ever seen.
Well, I was just going to say it's the pass of the year, but I remember Jacques earlier in the season doing a maneuver like that on Michael, and might even have been 2 of them. So when you can pass the defending world champion that way, you certainly can call yourself a Formula One driver. And I wouldn't be surprised that Jacques' wheel-to-wheel competition in Indy cars helps him in that regard.
Let's take a quick break. The anthems and the podium ceremony when we come back.
Rough roads, sharp curves. To keep a firm grip on roads like this depends upon your shock absorbers. Look, with a worn-out shock absorber, the wheel leaves the road. But with a new Monroe Sensatrack shock absorber, your tire holds the road. With Monroe Sensatrack, even the most demanding road feels safer. Monroe Sensatrack, making the road a safer place. Have your shocks checked every 20,000 kilometers just to be safe.
The Japanese know a thing or two about styling. Not to mention detail and precision. That's why one of Japan's favorite cars is a Suzuki, and why we proudly offer Canadians the Esteem, a perfect marriage of practicality and style. Discover what the Japanese already know about us. Call for the dealer nearest you. Suzuki. All you have to do is drive one. Right now, you can lease a 97 Esteem for just $179 a month.
Slick 50 engine treatment with Teflon. Can it reduce wear in your engine? Yes. Here's proof. In the Great Slick 50 torture test, a professional driver drove this Slick 50 treated car nearly 20 kilometers with no oil. And here's more proof. Slick 50 is the only engine protection with test results published by the Society of Automotive Engineers, the recognized automotive authority. Reduce wear in your engine with Slick 50 engine treatment with Teflon. Get Slick 50 at Canadian Tire, bumper to bumper, Lordco stores.
Regardless of the vehicle you drive and the roads you take, a puncture or an air leak can happen at any time. Unless you use Tire Safe, a new sealant designed to prevent punctures and air leaks before they happen. Tire Safe is easy to install. It will instantly repair any puncture and let you feel safe when you drive. Only the presence of a green mark like this one will tell you that you had a puncture. Tire Safe, the ultimate protection against flat tires. On sale only at Canadian Tire.
Welcome back to TSN's coverage of the Portuguese Grand Prix as the top 3 and Canadian fans celebrate in Portugal. Jacques Villeneuve wins his 4th race of the season. And while the comparisons with Dad, he doesn't particularly like them, Jerry, but that is one more than Gilles Villeneuve's best season ever in his short F1 career.
Yes, in fact, some of the people here in the press room are wondering if this could be a race-winning record for a rookie. in Formula One. I don't know. I'm not very good in statistics, but certainly Jacques has undoubtedly made a name for himself in Formula One this year. Even though it was a famous name when he came here, everyone now knows who Jacques Villeneuve is.
Well, certainly, and I think the point was well made that these are two famous sons, and the pressure always as a son in the shadow of whatever sport is more difficult. As Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill make their way to the podium in Portugal, and on the highest step is Canada's Jacques Villeneuve, for the fourth time, the Canadian national anthem. One more win in Japan to win the World Championship. God save the Queen for the constructors. Williams of Great Britain. Jacques Villeneuve picks up win number 4 and now is within 9 points of Damon Hill in the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher on the podium after winning the last 2 races. Didn't think he would be competitive here in Portugal because the circuit so tough on tires. He didn't think his Ferrari would have the grip, but he finds himself in 3rd place. It's been Williams the entire season. And now these 2 teammates, Villeneuve and Hill, will take their World Championship battle to Suzuka for the final event of the season. Jacques Villeneuve is the winner, and we'll hear from the Canadian when we come back.
Hell is a world where you have no home. And even though I was in heaven, something drew me back to my home. I can't put into words the things I've seen, the places I've been, or what it all means. Because it's not so much what you look at, but when you look, what you see. And now I see that my eyes are the eyes of the world. In my eyes, I am.
There's one name these drivers turn to for the quality parts that give their vehicles the edge they need to perform and win. The same name you should turn to for the only parts guaranteed to perform in your Chrysler vehicle. Authentic Mopar parts. Available from your Chrysler Canada dealer. Get real. Get Mopar.
It was an impressive performance by Jacques Villeneuve. Remember, he started on the front row outside of Damon Hill, qualifying, separating the two Williams teammates by just 9/1000ths of a second. But unlike past performances, Damon Hill got off to a terrific start. And Jacques Villeneuve found himself in fourth and racing behind both Jean Alesi and Michael Schumacher in a terrific battle for second place. And then it was Villeneuve who made a dramatic pass, and full credit to the BBC commentators, I think, for giving credit where credit is due to the open wheel racing, the competitiveness of IndyCar racing. Not as much. Sometimes Formula One folks tend to look down at IndyCar racing and not giving its fair due. But in this case, they did. Jonathan Palmer admitting that Villeneuve went around the outside, the dirty line, as we now go back to Estoril and hear from the winner, Jacques Villeneuve.
Alive. Did everything go completely to plan today?
Apart from the start, yeah. We knew we had to beat Damon by at least 10 points to still keep a slim chance for the championship, and that's what we did today. We were counting on the start, but for once Damon left the grid pretty good, and we had a pretty bad one. And it was looking grim at that point, and then it was a good battle with Michael until we came upon some traffic, and he was going slowly before the last turn, hoping I would stay behind, but we just got him on the outside. So I think the oval experience helped a little bit there, and it was actually a lot of fun. And after that was just fighting to close to Damon and to try and overtake him in the pit stop, and that's what happened.
As you were coming down the pit lane after your third pit stop, were you aware that Damon was coming down the main straight?
Yeah, I knew whereabouts he was because I had been following him when he went in the pits, and I wasn't that far, so I had done a quick lap before coming in the pits to make sure I would get a good lead on him. And the team did a great job because my car today was very, very strong, and I could race it pretty hard.
Once you were ahead of Damon, were you pretty confident then that you better stay ahead for the last remaining laps?
Yeah, because when I was behind him, I was slightly quicker until the last few laps when my tires were shot because of following him and losing all the downforce. So I knew that if we got ahead, then if we didn't make any mistake or hit some traffic at the wrong spot, we'd finish in front.
Well, Damon, you had a great start, and you built up quite a big lead pretty quickly.
So a confident-sounding Jacques Villeneuve, who admits that he thought he could stay in front of Damon Hill, that he was the quicker, and indeed he was. In Portugal, Jacques Villeneuve is the winner, and the championship will go down to the final event.
Wie Ihr Körper Vitamine braucht, braucht Ihr Auto Vitavins.
A front airbag is a very powerful device designed to help protect an adult, not a child. Because of the size of the bag and the speed of its inflation, Volvo believes no child should ever be placed in the front seat of a car. Any car. Drive safely.
Rough roads, sharp curves. To keep a firm grip on roads like this depends upon your shock absorbers. Look, with a worn-out shock absorber, the wheel leaves the road. But with a new Monroe Sensatrack shock absorber, your tire holds the road. With Monroe Sensatrack, even the most demanding road feels safer. Monroe Sensatrack, making the road a safer place. Have your shocks checked every 20,000 kilometers just to be safe.
vitamins do for your body, VitaWins does for your car.
So this is how they will go to round 16, Suzuka. And Jacques Villeneuve, 9 points behind the current championship leader. And note that this is the results as they go to Suzuka. Gerhard Berger currently tied with David Coulthard on through the top 11. Our next event, of course, we will have for you the Japanese Grand Prix. Saturday, October the 12th, we'll have coverage at midnight Eastern Time. Jacques Villeneuve looking to win the World Championship in his rookie season. Now on behalf of Jerry Donaldson and our entire crew, I'm Vic Rudder. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations, Jacques Villeneuve, from all Canadians.
This is TSN.
Hi, this is Dave Brandorf for the Bottom Line in Sports in Vancouver. Watch for my reports on Sportsnet on TSN Coast to Coast.